a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Miami Dolphins.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from Miami. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. Takes it to about the 37.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Time.
Off of play action, Darnold. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Set.
Here's Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackled by Ashton Davis up from the secondary.
At the 46-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Darnold. And he is caught. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 30.
12 yards. That's good for a Seahawks. First down. A gain of 12. First down, Seahawks.
Now it's Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression, he just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Ready! 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 Start!
Back to Walker on first down. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Darnold. Open man is Barner, the tight end. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Here's Darnold. That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. It's only the first quarter. That's a quick shift in momentum right there because they were driving the football before that interception. And then not only, Charles, do they throw the pick, but it gets returned all the other way for the score.
I think the important thing here was it backed up in their own territory. This defense didn't blink. They hung in there, waited for the offense to make a mistake, and as soon as they did, they capitalized in the biggest way possible.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
Their own 35-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And you wonder, I mean, is it even possible, especially for the quarterback, to mentally reset after that quick of a turnaround?
Well, we're certainly going to find out, aren't we? Because that play will stay in your mind, but somehow you have to compartmentalize. Put it aside, pick yourself up, and get moving in the right direction.
There's a short one caught by Arroyo. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
14 yards.
His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Now Darnold. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down.
It looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Go, set.
A quick throw caught by Kupp out wide. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 38-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it, got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
There's the stiff arm. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
He's taken down at the 30.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 4. Darnold now to throw. And he's got Smith-Njigba. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 32 yards. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are tied at 7.
Jason Myers to kick off.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. Here's Hill. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 34-yard line.
Back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. Able to slither by. Great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Hill. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7.
Seahawks 7. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, trying to tie this football game. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw, Darnold. And this one is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. So this is where a defense can really pin back its ears, bring it all, sell out to stop the run. This time, it'll earn them 2 points.
They definitely guessed right here. A run blitz all the way, and that's a bad feeling for a running back when he knows he's got to at least get it over the goal line. But all he sees are opposing jerseys.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
A gain on the play. And the Seahawks first down.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Darnold setting up the screen here. This is Walker. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
A gain of 7. First down, Seattle.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
He was taken down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
2nd down and 8. From the 50, it's Darnold. That'll be caught by Cobb. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
It's a gain of
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. From the 30 on 2nd down, Darnold. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. And Darnold's going to change the play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Well, you can just see this one coming, couldn't you? It's an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long. The defense is going to bring in 2 more defensive backs and say, you want to throw? Go ahead. We dare you. And it's just no one open anywhere as they come away with the interception.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. Now he's loose at the 40, inside the 20, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 93 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead.
Makes the score Dolphins 21, Seahawks 9. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something which is wrong with the ball or the wind or something is funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, and give to Charbonnet. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. They'll drop to throw. And they'll find the open man. That's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
A gain of 21 yards. And the Seahawks 1st down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. Some strong running at the 20. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 2 yards to go, second down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
And they'll run on third down to Charbonnet. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on fourth down here. Now back to throw. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
First down. First and goal, Seattle.
On the give here, Charbonnet. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Here's Darnold. They'll get this complete to the tight end Barner. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? And Darnold going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Dolphins are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. The defense had geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this is potentially a nervy situation this close to their own goal line.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game.
Brandon, let me jump in real quick. I think this is just asking too much of a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, you're near the end of the half here. Don't put him in a position where he can make a mistake like that, right?
Agreed. Just hand the football up and try to get to halftime. Instead, they try to throw, but he ends up going down in the end zone.
Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Looking to throw. They'll swing this out wide. Here's H.M. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now they'll change things up. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll look to throw again. That's out to Hill, right side complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. The bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up second down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after what...
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realize what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Now it's Darnold. They'll get this one to Cobb, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
That's good.
It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
Yeah, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, Darnold. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Darnold. Going up top for Kupp. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Cooper Kupp, 39 yards. And the Seahawks have got it back to within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter, despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now we'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Loose inside the 30, and he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. 78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Hill. And he is going to lose yardage here. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Tackle made back at the 17-yard line.
Well, looks like they'll move things around here. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Here comes 3rd down and 7.
That's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 7.
They'll set up to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also in letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Here's a 2nd and 4. Here's Darnold. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got it at the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. A touchdown on a kick return, and now one through the air. And the Seahawks strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that will put them on top here in the third. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone, so this ball will come out to the 30 now. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 2nd and 15. Over the middle, complete. That's Hill. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
A gain of 13 yards. It's now 3rd and 2.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He'll dump this off to Achane. And some room to maneuver. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Taken down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Open man is Hill. He's got him. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins have answered back with a 3rd quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead. Sanders on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 6-point game. So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Sanders now to kick this one away. From his end zone, here's Rashid Shaheed. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
And from the gun, here's a handoff to Charbonnet. And this will be a Seahawks first down as he gets it up past the 35.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Darnold now to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Here goes, set. Set.
A quick throw caught by Kupp out wide. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. In motion, the tight end. Back to throw, Darnold. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
A 4-yard pickup on the play. First down, Seattle.
To throw is Darnold. Throw left side, complete to Kupp. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. To the air again, Darnold. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards there, down 2 to 18 and a first down.
That's good for a Seahawks first down. A gain of 18 on the play. And the Seahawks first down.
And now a handoff to Charbonnet. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
2nd and 10.
Here we go, lady. Here we go, start.
Darnold. This is caught. And the Seahawks are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here we go, 1st and goal.
Here we go, start. Go away.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
Now 1st and goal. Now Darnold wants to change it up. On the counter, it's Walker. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Go, lady.
Walker is going backwards here. Now they come in and drop him all the way back at the 4-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. Darnold to throw. He finds Smith and Jigba in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish.
Jason Myers to kick off.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. They run with Hill. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. First and 10 here.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Buffalo 18.
They'll look to throw. It's Hill, complete.
Bottom line, 2-yard gain's just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give them that the rest of the way. Here comes second down. A run straight ahead with Achane. And he is going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
On the carry, it's Hill. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
They'll come up now. This is second and long. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Back to throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Jason Sanders for the Dolphins field goal. A 41-yard attempt.
Sanders' kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
This is first and 10.
We're going to start. Yo, lady.
Now Darnold. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
2 timeouts still in their back pocket. It's first and 10. Here's Darnold. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Here's first and 10.
Here we go. Panther 60, Panther 60.
They'll run with Hill. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. So they'll quickly now signal for the timeout. And it's definitely not looking good, but at least they'll have one final play to hope for that miracle and get him in the end zone. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner, although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen.